Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to bend some binding for the acoustic build. We're using we're using ebony binding with a little black. Let me just start that all over because apparently my mouth is having trouble speaking. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be bending some binding. We're using ebony, black, white, black. Little detail on the edge. I don't know if you can see that or not. And we're going to put it over there in the side bender because this stuff will break if you try to get it into that little tight bend in the waist. So I found, especially on the last one, the parlor style, that don't even try it. Just bend it, pre-bend it, and when you get ready to do the binding part of the guitar, you have a whole lot less hassle to deal with. So the first thing we got to do is get it in some aluminum foil and get some water on it. And get it folded up in a little package. We'll do that first. Get that going. And we want to make sure that we orient these properly. We need two going one way and two going the exact opposite of that. And what I mean is there's black, white, black detail on one edge of each piece of the binding. And that's going to go around the guitar in one way. That same piece, once it's bent, won't work on the other side of the guitar. That makes sense to you? So what we have to do is we have to put it 2 by 2. And this is already bent a little bit. So I'm going to have to put a little tape on it to kind of hold it straight. Because it's wood, and wood bends, does weird things. So I'm going to put a little tape on it. I hope that doesn't hurt the binding part of it. Not the binding part, but the bending part. I hope it doesn't do anything weird. The glue, or I don't know. Who knows? Some kind of weird stain or something on there. So I'm just going to put a piece of tape across it to try and hold it together like that. Because there's one piece that wants to bend in this direction while it's flat, which is going to make a weird twist in it that we just can't deal with. Let me grab a spray bottle. I'll be right back. Let's get this wetted down here. Make sure we're good and moist. I actually want to kind of do both sides. This may make my tape obsolete. But I want to get some moisture on both sides of this binding. This is ebony, and I haven't tried to bend ebony before. So I don't know how this is going to work out, but we're going to try it. It should be okay. We'll just take it nice and slow and see how it goes. I want to make sure everything's good and wet. So we get some good steam buildup in there. That's what we want. That steam is what helps bend everything real well. And we'll just close this package up. That keeps all the moisture in there. That should do real well. Seal up the edges, the ends. So we have a nice package. It's moist inside. And we'll put it in our blanket and get this setup going here. Okay, I'm going to move the camera a little bit. These little pieces of tape tell me where the waist is. And I'm pretty sure I have more than enough space here to bend it. But I'm just going to double check real quick. I'll be right back. So here's an easy way to figure out where your middle is, your waist on your guitar, this portion in the center. I just put a piece of tape on here like this. Some of this blue painter's tape. And now you can kind of lay out on that tape where your centers are, where your waist is. That way when you put it in your bending apparatus, you know where everything's supposed to be. So we know here's our waist here. I just put 2 lines on there. Let me know the waist is in that area. And then I put a line where this center line is, and this center line, like that. Then you can just pull that off. And it's like a story stick. If you've ever done any construction using story sticks, you walk around and you put your marks on the story stick to tell you where individual pieces of molding or whatever should go. Makes it easy to lay out on a bench. Then you have this already laid out. And you can just lay it right on top of your piece, like this. And now you know where your centers are. So that when you put it in the bender, you make sure that you get the waist where the waist should go. Obviously you need more over here than you need over here in this particular situation. So that tells you where things are. All right, you get that? Okay. So that's just a little quick tip to do that with. That helps out a lot in a lot of different situations. Stack set up. You know where this is. We're going to take this piece here. I'm going to leave this one out so we can see where the waist is. We're just going to set that right on top of the blanket like that. Right in the middle there. That's where I have the bending set up in the middle. Then we're going to take this and set it on there like this. I'm just going to take a couple of clamps. These little paper binders are great for this, to hold everything in place for a minute until we can get over there to where we're trying to be. All right, I'll move one more time and then we'll get this thing plugged in and get rolling, okay? Put that right there. We're just going to snug this up a little bit to hold it in place for us. Okay, that'll hold everything in place and we can get the heater going. Let me get my this is the temperature sensor. You want to clamp that right inside here so it knows how hot the blanket is getting. It's sitting right on top of the blanket, just like that. We got the temperature set at 320 degrees. You got to plug these things in a certain way. They'll only go in one way. I believe this has to go up. Plug this in here. And plug this in here. And now the blanket will get hot. All right, I'll be right back. You guys hang tight. Okay, we're getting hot now. So I'm just going to start bending this in just a little at a time. I've got the two pieces that fold down now on there, that fold the sides down. I need to tighten those up while it's getting hot. Okay, you can start bending it as it gets close. Do about a half a turn at a time in the center, and you need to move along. You don't want to rush it, but you also don't want to just cook the heck out of it. But this ought to bend fairly easily because it's small, so I'm just going to go ahead. It feels like it's bending pretty well. Just going to go ahead and go with it. Start bending the sides down. We should be able to go ahead and just bend this one down here. Make sure this is getting tight. All right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat and just let that cool down. And as it sits there and cools down, it's going to get used to being bent like that. And we'll let that cool off real well, come up to room temperature, and then we'll come back and take a look at it, okay? So hang with me, I'll be back. Hey guys, so it may not come as a shock to you that I do all of the video work myself. Basically, I just have a camera and I have this little mic, and if the green light is on, that means that the mic is working as far as plugged into the iPad. And at any rate, yesterday, about halfway through the video of me doing the bending of the binding for the new acoustic guitar build we're doing, the microphone stopped working. And in this particular situation, when the microphone stops working, it cuts off all the sound. The iPad will no longer pick up sound. So it's basically just about 10 minutes of me talking and it's total silence. which some people may prefer total silence, and me. But in order to do a video, you got to have some sound. So suffice it to say, the bending of the binding worked out well. I didn't get to kind of do the end of the video like I wanted to, but this is the binding, and it turned out really good. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. The ebony bends really well. I'll just give you a close-up of it. Let you see how it looks. I put it back in the form so that it didn't relax too much, you know, because we don't want things to relax too much. And so let's see if we can get it out of there. There you go. So this is how it turned out with the 4 pieces glued together, and I have 2 going in one direction, 2 going, you know, with the black, white, black portion of the binding like I explained yesterday. But there it is, and it works really well. Now it bends right around here in this area where we want it to. I mean, extremely well, so I couldn't be happier with the way that worked out. So that's a good thing. So this is the official end of that video. And what I wanted to say at the end of that video that you can't hear is thank you so much for subscribing and watching. And we're up to, I think, 675 subscribers now. We're the mighty 675, which is awesome. That number varies sometimes. I guess some people just say, fuck it, and they don't want to watch that anymore. So, but for the most part, you guys have been hanging in there with me, and I appreciate it. So I got a favor to ask. If you would, please, the people that do watch the video, if you would just reach up there and hit the like button. That would be great. If you got something from this video, if you enjoyed it in any way, if you saw something that maybe helped you out, hit the like button because it helps out the channel. And that way we can make better videos and possibly get better microphones. So we don't have those disasters like we did yesterday, all right? That's the second time that's happened to me. It's embarrassing, but it is what it is. Thank you for watching. The binding is bent. We're going to move on to putting the groove around the guitar now to accept the binding, you know, with this tool. And we're going to get that going on the next video. Okay, so stick around for that. We're just going to go ahead and keep doing these videos for this particular guitar till we get it built. All right, and follow along with us, okay? And we still have the pink build going. The pink build is somewhere around here. It's been sanded. It's been disassembled. It's in the sanding process. So we still have to do the fretboards and that type of thing. And so we're moving on with it, all right? So thanks again. You guys be good to each other out there. Get out there and see some local bands and support your musicians and your bars and taverns and all those wonderful places, all right? Peace. We'll see you around. Work guitars. Bye.